Introduction. This book is strong medicine. Obsessed is the word lazy people use to describe the dedicated. I don't know who said it, but spare a thought for it. You've done it. You've finished the exam, closed that big deal, completed a marathon, been promoted, or dropped a dress size. This fantastic success was all a result of reaching a decision point. A decision you made weeks, months, or even years ago. It doesn't matter. You made a decision. Okay, so we're jumping the gun a little bit. But these achievements and outcomes are real and can be real for you. You've made the decision to read this book, which is a great start in getting things back on track. Don't feel bad. Life often gets in the way of us, and there's never a good time to start reaching for our goals. We all fall foul of forgetting how to make good decisions and then having the discipline to stick to them. Do not worry. You've taken an important step. You've made an important decision, not to buy this book. I wouldn't be so presumptuous. No. You made a decision before that. You understand, on one level or another, that you're not happy with the status quo. Your life, as it is, right now, isn't what you wanted it to be, and you want to improve something in yourself or your life for a better future. This was the important decision you made. How does it feel? You're that little bit closer on your individual journey of personal development. Your mindset has changed, you're ready to commit, and you're ready to back yourself and put your improvement first for a change. It feels amazing, doesn't it? So what makes this book different? How is this book going to help you? What is this book for? Decision Point is a fitting addition to the already expansive body of work in the personal development genre, specifically focusing on motivation and discipline. It sits among timeless and legendary authors, including some of my favourites, Napoleon Hill and Jim Rohn, and more contemporary writers, including the great Tony Robbins and Les Brown. In truth, this book is a little bit more. It's part self-help tool and part memoir of my own experiences, and I hope to form the foundation that you will go on to build and support your own lifelong personal development. Decision Point is a tool for you to open the aperture of opportunities that present themselves to you every day, and for you to exploit the various skill sets that are already in you. We're all blessed with the same 24 hours in the day, and I know that, as a reader of this book, you have the internal drive to want more from your 24 hours. So I promise that before you turn the last page, you will have learned something new and be stronger-willed and mentally agile, with a plan not only of what you want to do next, but how you're going to do it. You will have developed enough to make a life-changing decision. From my own research and experiences, all you need to succeed is already in you. Some skeptics will cite luck as being a factor. I say this is total BS. It offers those who don't believe in themselves an easy way out, a cheap excuse. By the time you reach the end of chapter 2, you won't believe in luck either. And as you pass by each chapter, your self-belief will grow exponentially. I'll show you the simple yet powerful tools that you need to shape your own future the way you want it. Decision Point will guide you into identifying what success means to you and giving you a roadmap to achieve those very dreams you have cast adrift and goals you'd never dared dream. Decision Point should be used to shine a light on your own experiences, to focus your mind and give you tangible and realistic goals that will enable you to present the best version of yourself to the world and to have a positive impact on those around you. I've written this book over years. Not because I'm lazy or a procrastinator. Actually, that's not strictly true. I do sometimes, but we're all human. But because I've learned new skills and information and had more life-enhancing experiences, I couldn't leave them out of this text. I would feel like I was robbing you of the full experience as well as the concepts and systems that have helped me, and I believe they'll propel you towards your goals quicker than ever before. Alas, I've had to draw the line somewhere, but I'm already teeming with ideas that I will share with you. At some point, we all suffer from an absence of motivation, and that's fine. It's one of the many parts that make up the human condition. But what's most important is for you to recognize it and to recognize that you're not presenting the best version of yourself to those around you. And as such, you're doing yourself a huge injustice. This lack of motivation pulls at your enthusiasm to be creative and pursue life's goals. And I'm certain that this same inertia paralyzes thousands of prospective entrepreneurs, writers, artists, authors, sportsmen, and women all over the world. Identify this and fight it with everything you have. It's not easy, but it's a fight you must win. While some of my inspiration has come from world leaders in leadership, motivation, and personal development, I've been influenced by many teachers both in my day-to-day life as well as being in the most unlikely of situations. Over the past 15 years, I've been presented with countless opportunities, but was simply not equipped to recognize them. Some of those lessons I'll be alluding to later. One old Chinese proverb, "When the student is ready, the teacher will appear," immediately springs to mind. I recall when this proverb revealed its meaning to me back in 2012. No doubt you've heard it several times, but if like me you paid passing lip service. As a throwaway quip, then also like me you are simply not ready. Not ready for what, you may ask? The answer to that is simple. Your own development. I have taken decisions and made mistakes, but after gradually nurturing and growing my motivation by strengthening my discipline, opening my eyes to opportunity, and focusing my energy on specific targets, I found that success is a byproduct of simple processes. This is the secret sauce in Decision Point, the key takeaway. And I'll reveal how to strengthen your disciplines for ultimate success, because the contingent factor on whether or not you succeed is not out there in the big wide world. It's to what extent you believe that you can succeed. Focus is a simple 5-letter word, but an ever increasingly difficult thing to do in today's modern world, littered with distractions. Focus is critical to your success. Prepare for our first allegory. Imagine washing your car with a water hose, but the nozzle twisted all the way to the right. The spray is wide, and a fine mist covers your car. What happens when you twist the nozzle of the hose all the way to the left? The water jet becomes tighter, more focused and stronger, and goes further. The fine mist does get the car wet, but doesn't ever really get the dirt off the surface. The wind can blow and influence the mist, but the jet, or your attention and attitude in this case, can saturate wherever it's focused and will blast away the dirt, leaving you with a shiny, clean car. Just like your journey to success, you will go further with focus. Did that work for you? Okay, how about another way to think about focus? Imagine you're shipwrecked on a desert island with nothing but some simple supplies, including some fishing equipment. So motivated by hunger pains and knowledge that you need to eat to keep your strength up, you set out to go fishing on some rocks overlooking the sea. A bumper catch of fish rewards your efforts, and you walk back to your camp to tuck in to your freshly caught fish that afternoon. In your supply kit, you find a magnifying glass. You have a brainwave. You'll be able to make a fire to cook your fish by burning a pile of leaves and kindling. So you sit there, moving your magnifying glass across the leaves to try and encourage a flame. Nothing happens. And nothing ever will, as long as you're moving the magnifying glass. And thus the sun's rays across the leaves. But as soon as you keep the magnifying glass still and focus, you harness the sun's power and see a single leaf begin to smoulder. Before you know it, the whole pile bursts into flames. Voila! Barbecued fish. This is the power of focus, and this is what this book will leave you with as you turn the final page. The more you focus, the more incredible your results will be. I've written this book to help you pick a starting point. After all, you've made a decision. So now we need to think about where the best place to start is. I've designed Decision Point to help you find a clear path from your idea through to what you've chosen as your final destination, your own metric for success. Your journey through the pages will be stimulating and, I hope, a thought-provoking experience. Fill the margins. Get a highlighter and underline bits that resonate. Put sticky notes on pages you want to come back to. Take quotes and post them on your social media. Share them with family and friends. Let everybody know how focused you are. You might be surprised how motivating positive feedback and accountability can be. For my part of the bargain, I'll be your guide on reaching, taking, and most importantly, delivering on your decision point. Here's a brief snapshot of what's to come over the next 8 chapters. Your author. From experience, the number one factor determining if you'll reach your goals is the extent that you will consistently maintain your disciplines. You can't decide to be disciplined on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, or when your favourite TV show is over. That's the polar opposite of what we're trying to achieve. Discipline is the mastery of your own being, which includes both your mind and your body. Only when the two are totally aligned and in sync can you fully achieve your preset goals. This book offers some insight and enlightenment as to what makes discipline so difficult, and offers some practical steps on what you can do to make the discipline more of a routine activity in your daily life. As you journey through these pages, I hope to stretch and elevate your thinking, tuning you to recognize aimless opinion instead of offering advice that you can choose to accept or reject based on its credibility and merit. I've learned that, broadly speaking, those with surface-level opinions, soundbites who probably spend their leisure time on social media, are unqualified and can largely be ignored. This kind of opinionated person will say things like, "Why are you reading that book? Those motivational books are all the same. They never work. You're wasting your time." And worst of all, they're telling you why you should not pursue your goals. Think about this. Would you trust your financial future by taking the advice of a poor person? Would you take relationship advice from a multiple divorcee? When you have a medical issue, would you take the opinion of your postman as qualified advice? I hope that it's self-evident that you would not listen to the advice of those who neither have the experience nor qualifications or have not trodden the path that you have taken the decision to walk. Take advice from successful people. You'll be able to leverage from their mistakes and errors, making your path to success that little bit easier. As I alluded to before, my mentors and advisors have been some of the world's highest achievers and greatest speakers. On reflection, it was not the advice of my friends when I was growing up or co-workers who enabled me to have the confidence to make the decisions I did. The influence of those mentors and a small group of like-minded people resulted in me reaching my short and medium-term goals. Discipline is and has been the central tenet of my personal and professional development, and is now part of my personal philosophy. I've always had a certain ability for self-control and self-discipline, but that was enhanced and then cemented during my years serving in the British Army. Joining the forces, aged 16, helped me to structure my life and thought processes. This was subconscious. 16-year-old Nathan had no idea this was happening. You may have a vision of that scary sergeant major screaming drill orders on the parade square, and you wouldn't be too far wrong. But the British Army has had literally hundreds of years honing the way it instills discipline to make sure that British soldiers are among the finest in the world. Those early disciplines I learned during my 12-week basic training at Army Training Regiment Basingbourn included practicing a good daily hygiene routine, making your bed, structuring your day, identifying short and medium-term goals, and working as part of a team. Working as a team is not to be underestimated. It means constantly working to ensure that relationships are aligned, productive, and selfless. This list could go on, but these disciplines allowed me to promote myself ahead of peers and make the move from soldier to a commissioned officer, allowing me to develop what I now realize is my real passion: leadership and the development of organizations and others. I practiced my leadership and development skills both formally through academia and professionally both in the UK and overseas during peacetime and conflict. I've led hundreds of soldiers and officers, been part of critical international relationship negotiations with the UK's NATO allies. My role in NATO was to find solutions to problems. The business of war is costly in more ways than financial, and each one of the 25 individual member nations had a different tolerance to what they and their domestic population would find acceptable. Under pressure, it's a natural human tendency to revert to the most basic and primitive responses to pressure: fight or flight. I credit my ability to keep my head clear and mind under pressure with the basic disciplines I learned when I was 16 at ATR Basingbourn, a truly wonderful and life-shaping experience. On my journey, there have been two principal teachers whom I paid particular attention to, and they guided me as they will guide you on your own success. The first is success itself. The second teacher is failure. Ask yourself, what is it we can learn from success? It's fantastic to succeed. It feels great. You become popular, liked, and respected. You ride the quest of a wave, you're on a high, and it confirms that your choices and decisions were correct. But what did you learn? I would argue you learn nothing other than to continue with the same methodology for that success. Is that so bad, you may ask? Why shouldn't you do the same as you've done before to achieve success? That's because nothing in the universe is static. Humanity itself is in a state of constant evolution. It is innate to strive for growth, expansion, and innovation, and relatively speaking, if you're static, you're in effect going backward, because you're surrounded by others who are striving forward and are motivated, and they will not relent until they achieve their goals. This is not to say that the pursuit of your goals is overtly adversarial, but it does mean that if you're not the architect of your own success plan, you'll be a piece in somebody else's. Think about that. Failure, on the other hand, feels horrible and is the antithesis of success. So why should you embrace such unpleasant results and the associated emotions? It's because failure is your greatest teacher, and you have so much to learn from its lessons. Don't worry. Failure doesn't necessarily have to be yours. The smartest among you will learn from other people's failures, which is by far the most efficient and cost-effective way to reap unimaginable value and reward at absolutely no cost to you. I can't wait to get to this bit, but we must piece this puzzle together sequentially. So you'll have to wait to Chapter 4 to learn the power of routine discipline. I've written this book to be universally applicable to almost all situations, desires, and goals. And this is possible because the same traits for business success are the same for success on the sports field. In my own personal development over the past 15 years, and in research for this book, I found that the more I studied people and their journeys to success, the more apparent it became that there are universal and fundamental principles that underpin anybody's path to their personally defined success. I make use of anecdotes and metaphors because they're more easily relatable, and after all, who doesn't like a little story? The anecdotes are also for you to apply to your own situation and your own plan, because there's little point in me offering you a fixed path and a step-by-step guide to follow. Firstly, because I couldn't, since I don't know you. And secondly, because this book is supposed to be ubiquitous to all areas of achievement, not just for those aspiring to climb the corporate ladder. It's as useful to someone who wants to be the best salesman in their department as it is to an athlete hoping to become a sporting champion or someone who desires to become a billionaire. What this book will deliver for you is a widening of your awareness, and that there is an absolute and essential requirement to educate yourself. I don't necessarily mean going to college or university, but it does mean educating yourself in the skills, knowledge, and experience required to succeed in your chosen area. Let's look at sales to illustrate the point. If you wanted to achieve the best sales results in your department, then some innovative thinking could mean that understanding human psychology would be an excellent place to start. Strange, you might think, but I don't think so. I would advocate studying human psychology because you'll interact with people, no matter what you're trying to achieve. It's a core skill that you'll need to master if you want to advance and go further in any area of expertise. Professor Albert Mehrabian is often misquoted in saying that 93% of communication is nonverbal. But to get closer to the truth of this assertion, the good professor actually meant that of that 93%, 55% was attributed to body language, and 38% was voice and tone. This is fairly important stuff, because it says to me that to get on well with others, or to interpret how others may be perceiving you, you should really be developing your emotional intelligence, picking up on other people's emotions, feelings, and attitudes. So with this in mind, let's go back to the salesperson. It should be obvious that in a sales scenario, people rely on the positive interaction with each other. Buyers get what they want, agents earn commissions, and sellers hopefully get profits. It could mean taking a course in learning how to manage your time better. The better able you are at managing your time, the more potential clients you'll be able to see, therefore increasing the chances of potential sales and so increasing the commissions you can earn. What about using books or taking a course in public speaking? Have you ever seen a TED Talk? If not, I highly recommend them. TED Talks are hosted by the most intriguing presenters who speak with passion and excitement about their area of expertise. I've often found myself inspired to learn a little more about a seemingly random topic after hearing a confident and engaging speaker. Our salesman, armed with the confidence to talk to potential buyers, engaging them, enthusing them, and selling them their dreams, will cover the cost of their public speaking course after their first sale. And the great news is, you only have to pay for that course or book once, but you get the recurrent benefits from the lessons you've learned over and over again. So there you go. With your confidence boosted, you understand your target audience. Now watch those sales roll in. This toolkit of disciplines, mindsets, and new understanding is all in support of helping you. And it really doesn't matter what you do, because these skills are widely transferable. What if you desire to be the best chef in the world? There are hundreds of examples of fine dining chefs around the world, and I would argue you must have complete mastery of the basic ingredients that go into not only your signature dish, but every dish you produce. So how does a chef take themselves from being good or proficient to being the best, the standout exemplar who inspires the next generation and commands the respect of their peers. Have you considered going to the gym more often to become physically fitter? Any chef, from the head chef to the chef de partie, will tell you that working in a hot kitchen is physically demanding. And I'm an advocate of the strong body equals strong mind philosophy. So our chef must be able to take the heat and not be drained by the exhausting work and pressure to deliver in a hot kitchen. Let's not overlook the elevated position of leadership that a head chef occupies. You must be mentally strong in order to lead a team and maintain the high standards of your restaurant and reputation. While most head chefs have obtained their position on their culinary skills, the role is a position of leadership. So I would think it prudent to undertake some leadership and management training to get those emotional intelligence skills up to scratch. This newfound mental and physical strength will increase the head chef's performance and better equip them to lead and run a successful and efficient kitchen. This advantage will lead the aspiring chef down an easier path for culinary creativity, as well as the foundation for excellence in their field. Say hello to that Michelin star. My personal favourite, what about the young prospective millionaire? You would not believe how long I spent as a kid wishing I were rich. I didn't really know what it meant to be rich, how to define rich, or how to be rich. Nor did I realise that riches or wealth is a byproduct of doing something else well. Some will think it's shallow. Others will say that money will not make you happy. A few will make all manner of assumptions and judgments, but it's a goal and a target that has kept me motivated for over 30 years. It began as my motivation and is now a means of keeping score. It's been a key performance indicator to measure my results and a target for my discipline. It's given me the focus that enables me to do the most amazing things, meet the most interesting people and, I hope, going forward, allow me to be even more generous and charitable than I ever thought possible. Prospective millionaires amongst you are bursting with great ideas, all certain to make you wealthy beyond your wildest dreams. You're not able to sleep or contain your excitement at the future and the vision you've painted for yourself. You can feel, smell, and taste the success. Cars, holidays, but there's one problem. You don't know where to start. From experience, I've learnt that in the pursuit of success in your chosen field, the one common goal I can identify is self-mastery. That requires investment in yourself. And all of this begins at a decision point. The point in your life when you say, enough is enough. My time has come. The way to read this book is for you to read small, bite-sized chunks and then put it down. Yes, put it down and think about what these lessons and messages mean to you, or what you can do to apply them to your future plans. As you turn the final page, what I hope to leave you with is a sense of direction, a roadmap for how you'll execute your plan, to know how to make the most important first step and to start you on your path for personal excellence. This book should be the most highlighted book in your collection. Yes, you should have a collection. Make notes in the side of the pages, along with the front and the back, as these will form part of your working plan for success. I've taken the liberty of emboldening some text for you. This is something that you should really take time to understand. If you don't, then reread the sentence again before you move forward. All I ask is that you just give the book a chance and believe in your own ability to surpass any goal you ever thought possible. I wrote this book because I decided to share my experiences, decisions, and motivations. This book would contribute to the existing body of work that has helped me on my personal development journey and can help others on theirs. In this book, I want to deliver some clarity on the path you want to take, to give you the confidence to take that decision to move forward, and to be a better version of yourself today than you were yesterday, but not as good as you'll become tomorrow.